What is up, guys? Welcome back to Turbo's Garage, and today we're going to be starting our Trans Am build. And basically what that is we're going to take this little 15-year-old LS1 and try to run 10s and blow it up at the same time. Hope it doesn't blow up, and most likely it will. The reason it may blow up is because we're running something very, very new for Turbo's Garage, and we haven't messed with these before, and a lot of guys haven't messed with these before, but it's nitrous. So the fact is, I'm going to go over the install of nitrous on these F-body type of cars, the 98 to 02 LS1 Trans Am Camaro type of cars. There's nitrous kits out there. There's an entry-level kit, a wet kit. What it is nitrous and fuel solenoids combined with the bottle and all the plates and stuff that you need, and it's really the entry-level kit to actually put nitrous on these type of cars. And a lot of times you don't see those actual installation videos out there, and people really don't know how to use them and how to actually run the lines and everything else like that. So I'm really going to put this out there, and it's basically a follow-up on the build as well. Now it's a little simple thing on nitrous. Nitrous basically is an oxidizer. So what happens is you throw extra oxygen into the motor. It doesn't automatically make more power. You need to burn more fuel accompanied with that oxygen, so to really make more power. Overall, we're trying not to blow this thing up, but for starters, this door is so, holy crap. Yeah, I need some WD-40. It's all rusted down there. There's no rust on the car, it's just the bolts are rusted. So yeah, I still got some value in this car left. But the kit comes with the Nitrous NX, Nitrous Express 10-pound bottle with the 500 Lightning bottle. It's not a bottle opener, but the little bottle valve. From here, now we're actually going to run the main feed line from the nitrous bottle through the car. You can see it over there. Through there and to the actual solenoids that we're going to actually mount with the custom bracket. From there, and that's how you're going to get the fuel and air actually into the fuel and nitrous into the motor, and that's how you're really going to make more power. Now overall, like NX, the actual brand, they don't really give you very detailed instructions. They basically say install nitrous, don't run too much timing, enjoy. That's all they really say. So the fact is, you really going to need to see how to actually install these, and it can be, you can use this for a lot of different cars. A lot of different cars have wet kit systems for them, so you're going to be able to really kind of apply this knowledge everywhere. So let's get this going. Okay, first step with these kits, you're gonna need to find somewhere to mount the bottle. Now the fact is, I just put the bottle back here because it's very readily accessible. And if I was to put it in the trunk, which the convertibles have a very, very small trunk just because you have the motor and everything for the convertible top. The fact is, I'm gonna need a remote bottle opener, and that's just a little bit more money. I'd rather throw that somewhere else. So the fact is, I have the bottle right behind the front two seats. It's in between the rear passenger seats, which are like unusable just because it's convertible. Everything's pushed forward, and the rear seats are basically, you have to be chopped in half to even use the rear seats. So the fact is, I'm just gonna place the bottle back here. Now you want the bottle to be at somewhat of a angle where the top is higher than the bottom. Now if it's even, you can get away with it. If it's up like this, for example, if it's up like that, you can, that's basically how it's supposed to be. If it's like this, you can get away with it. You really don't have it downward just because there's a tube in there and you're gonna be sucking up gas rather than the liquid nitrous. The nitrous is liquid in the lines until it hits the jets. Then from the jets, it turns into a actual gas. So that's basically how nitrous really is. It's not one big bottle full of actual gas, it's actually liquid. Now from there, once you actually choose where to put the nitrous bottle at, then you're gonna actually have to route your main feed line. So this is the line that actually feeds the solenoids, and the solenoids get turned on at specific conditions to actually inject the nitrous into the intake. There's different rules, and not laws, but different rules if you go racing. For example, let's say you race at a track. Now sometimes they don't want to actually have the feed line inside the car, just because, let's say if it gets punctured for whatever reason over normal wear and tear, you can have nitrous leaking into your actual cabin of your car. So sometimes some people actually recommend it to actually run it on the outside of the car, under the frame rails, the subframe, wherever that goes. We're going to mount it inside the car. We don't really plan on actually going drag racing at a track with this car. I mean, I don't even have a cage for it, so it's going to be kind of pointless. And from there, we're going to route it down here through the carpet, down through the little kick panel, up through this corner in this little seam somewhere, get it through there, then actually into the motor itself. You can usually go through the firewall with these cars and stuff like that. It's just the fact is, the car has brand new carpet in there, and it's been completely overhauled. I don't even know if it's been restored because everything's brand new in here. And the fact is, I don't feel like cutting anything up, and you can get away with it going through the side. If it becomes a problem later on, for example, we can just change it around. This is just for temporary right now. Okay, and one might ask, how do you actually get nitrous into the motor? Now, the fact is, there's different systems that have direct port nitrous, for example, which is there's jets that are built into the intake manifold to inject the nitrous and fuel into the intake manifold itself. Now, these kits are very, very expensive. They take special type of intake manifolds to use, and most of the entry kits don't usually use that type of setup. They use a cheaper setup, which is a nitrous plate. So what you would actually have is a actual billet plate itself that sandwiches itself between the intake manifold and the actual throttle body itself. So it would fit like right in there. And on those plates, you're gonna have two different like orifices. There's gonna be an orifice for fuel, as you can see over here, and on the other side, there's gonna be an orifice for nitrous. Now these two are actually gonna be activated by solenoids that actually inject the nitrous and the fuel at the same time under specific conditions. It may be the RPM or the wide open throttle has to hit a certain percentage of wide open throttle before it injects the nitrous and fuel mixture to make more power. And this is really the cheapest setup, and most of the entry level kits have this type of this setup. This usually you're gonna see some form of plate system. Now for these Gen 3 LS motors, you're gonna have the 3-bolt plate. These work for 5.3 motors. They work for 4.8, 5.7. I don't know about the 6.0s and 6.2s. I don't know if they use a 3-bolt, but I know the Gen 4 motors, they use a 4-bolt intake manifold design, and there's different kits for those as well. This just really works for Gen 3 motors, as we can see. Now, common sense would tell you that nitrous isn't always injected into the intake. There's going to be a certain system to actually turn on whenever under certain parameters, wide open throttle or a RPM window switch, to actually activate the nitrous to be sprayed into the intake manifold itself. So this is where the solenoids come in. So after, you're going to have these wires that go on the top of the solenoid. These are going to be that they connect to different power and a relay, and you're going to have ground wires as well. The wiring for these are very, very simple. Just follow the instructions in the manual. And basically what these do is, under certain conditions, either it's wide open throttle, for example, that's what your switch is. Whenever that happens, the solenoid opens and allows the nitrous to be flowed into the intake. So you're gonna have, after this main feed line is gonna be pressurized with thousands of not thousands, but like around 1,000 psi worth of nitrous. Yeah. So from that feed line, that is going to connect to the solenoid. Now, what the solenoid is usually going to have a feed side and a exit side, and wherever that goes out, that is going to actually go into the plate. So whenever that goes into the plate, then the plate is going to inject that actually into the system itself, get sucked into the intake, and make some more unicorns out the exhaust. So this is what the rough setup should look like. You'll have all your solenoids, you'll have your nitrous plate set up. Now how it goes is, you have your main feed line that is pressurized with 1,000 psi worth of nitrous, goes all the way down to the nitrous solenoid. We don't have it wired up yet. From there, that solenoid is going to activate under certain conditions, whatever it is, wide open throttle or RPM. From there, that's going to run into the nitrous side of the plate. Then you have your fuel side that comes from that actual, it's a Schrader valve off of the fuel rail. From there, it goes to the fuel solenoid. Then from there, all the way to the fuel side of the nitrous plate. So, and that's basically how it runs. Nitrous, the wet kit systems are very, very simple. Now from here, all we have to really do is build a bracket to actually hold the solenoids in place. You don't want to have it roughly like this. I mean, like that. Yeah, it looks pretty horrible. From there, then just wire everything up with the relays. Put on the switches, like the little RPM switch and the wide open throttle switch, small little things here and there, and we'll be able to test it and see how much power we can make. So that's it. Let's go get some Wingstop. Nice. Okay, so this is really the final setup of it. As you can see, the custom bracket on the left side of the engine using the 2 bolts from the accessory drive. There's nothing that goes on this head right over here, so you can use the 2 bolts to make a custom bracket. Mount that for the nitrous solenoid. From the fuel solenoid, there's only 1 bolt on this head that's actually accessible. From there, made a little custom bracket for that. And you got the fuel solenoid, and that's basically what the rough setup of it should, not the rough, but actually the final setup of it should be. That's how it's gonna look. Yeah, that's how it's really gonna look. Then from there, all you have to do now is do the final assembly, doing the Teflon tape on everything, putting the jets in there. Then you should be able to do some test hits. Boy, I still got to refill the bottle, so the bottle's empty right now. You never want to install nitrous and have a full bottle and trying to mess with lines and stuff. You always want to have an empty bottle. But this thing looks amazing, dude. Even though this engine is so dirty, man. It's like the dirtiest engine ever, but you have these carbon fiber lightning solenoids. Oh!
It's so cool.
Looks mean. Okay, now we have the wide open throttle switch that's currently mounted right now. There's no pictures on Google about how to actually mount the wide open throttle switch. You basically have to just wing it and see what actually works for your application. And we have it basically off of the head itself, and it has a bracket coming up. Then from there, as you can see, as you flip the actual throttle, it'll actually click the actual I don't even know if it's a relay or not, but it's just a switch. It's just a basic switch, so it'll click the switch and basically activate the nitrous solenoids. Now I chose to put my nitrous switch right over here just above the vent. Now on the other side of these F-body cars, especially the Trans Ams, they're gonna have these little vents up there, and I basically just took mine out, gutted it, and now just replaced it with the switch. Now the switching and wiring up the nitrous system, the booklet that usually the nitrous system comes with tells you everything about wiring. They don't tell you anything about plumbing everything up, how to do fitment and stuff. They usually go in depth with the wiring. So you just follow those instructions. Usually the switch is going to have a main 12 volt line for it. So you can have it switched with the ignition key, or you can have it to constant power. Really depends on your application or what you're doing. From there, you're going to have to ground the switch. Then you can have the main lead. From there, going to a relay under the actual hood, or wherever you put the relay for the nitrous system. And from there, then you wire up everything, the solenoids. From there, everything into the relays and do the grounds and stuff. It tells you everything inside the booklet. Now, the thing about the solenoids don't have like a positive and negative side for them. So there's really no reason to really worry about the polarity of anything. You just hook one side to the power and another side to ground, and that's how you really wire up the solenoids. So if you don't see, let's say, like a plus or minus on the solenoid itself or on the wiring, don't worry. Nothing is wrong and nothing is mislabeled. It just, you can wire up anyway. You can wire the left side for positive and the right side for ground, or the left side for positive and right side for ground. So basically how it goes. But other than that, that's really the wiring is very self-explanatory. Now we're gonna really just hide it in that little black covering type of stuff. And from there, just test the actual solenoids to see if they work. And we're gooch. We're gooch, my dude.
Straight gooch.
How much power do you think we're gonna make, my dude?
Oh, easily like, I don't know, extra 150, so whatever.
I wanted a little 300 shot. No, we're probably gonna start off with like a 75 shot just to test everything. And the max I'm gonna do is 100 shot. So I'm not really looking for like to be a nitrous motor. Just nitrous is just an extra power adder for it. Because exactly, I'm planning on doing the cam for it. So the cam is really gonna make up for that extra shot of nitrous. So that's really what I'm planning on doing. And after that, this thing is gonna be done. I'm gonna buy a 240SX, drift that, sell that, buy a Corvette, blow that up. Yeah, you know.
Life will be good.
Exactly. Go. Okay, time to test the solenoids. So first thing, I'm gonna add power to the ignition. Where's the keys at? Keys. Give me the keys. Here we go. Find the right key. No, not this key. Okay, now this is the key. From here, ignition on. Now I gotta press the button, have it hidden back here. Prime the system. Button is on. I see the red light. Now from there,
wide open throttle. See the wide open throttle.
Click the wide open throttle switch.
Let me get right here.
You get right here. Should be able to hear the solenoids click on. So do that. Yep. Nice. Yep. Should be able to hear both of them. You can hear both of them?
Yeah, I can hear both of them. I can see them move. Shit.
Nice. Oh, all the wiring first time. Nice.
That's how you do it.
So I guess the everything is really done. All we got to really do is make everything look pretty nice under there. You don't have wires looking like that. Wrap everything up, make sure everything is weatherproofed.
Yep.
From there, fill up the bottle. And go hit some test hits. We're gonna probably do that next episode. I mean, this is so long for the install, but it's kind of worth it, especially people that don't have videos and actually know how to install the system on the F-body cars. You probably can see it now. Now, there's a little problem with the throttle body. Since we took off the thing, now we have to adjust it, and GM has a weird way of adjusting these throttle cables with these clips and stuff like that. It's not like a traditional like screw and move things around, so we got to really mess with that. But this dude did all the work for me.
No problem. That's what I do, man.
Yeah, I mean, he has a degree in engineering, so if he doesn't know how to do this, then
it's easy stuff.
It's the easy stuff, man. So catch us on the next episode of Turbo's Garage. We're gonna be boosting and acting stupid.